Hey, what's going on? Peace, it's Sarita, and this video today is to number one, say hi, and I know that you all are having a really good time over there, and I know you're laughing as I say that, but I know I am. This is a fun ride. Well, what this message is about today, as you read, is the lack of support that healers are receiving on their path or perceiving to have or not get this lifetime. All right. So what this is about, someone was talking to me about some challenges that they're having, and they want to know how to deal with their family. And so what about their family are they looking for assistance with? Well, what it is, they've had a challenging life, and one, that has really been a spiritual path and journey, and they happen to be a healer, an energy healer, and their family really thinks that they're weird, and they think that they are, they think something's wrong with them because they aren't into the physical life experience as they are, so, what we talked about was, I'll tell you how to deal with that, And this is not just for me, like I'm sharing some experience of my own, but then, from other people who have been striving this lifetime. And number one, breathe in and just relax. What it is with healers, for one thing, is you really do have a path that is one in a huge number of people that don't have it. It's less healers on the planet than there are of the sum of the rest of the world. I'll say that. Or there's more people who are out there in the world that are not having a spiritual, their path doesn't look all spiritual, even though it probably, it could be or it is, but to the degree of getting into the metaphysics and you may be into the astrology, you may be into numerology, you may be into your ancestors, the guides, your self-awareness, personal development. You may be into meditation and reflection, and just listen. Maybe listen to some positive things, or all kinds of stuff. But people that aren't on the path that you're on are not going to really get you. And even people who are on a spiritual journey, once what happens is, and I don't cut myself off, is once you get to a certain place vibrationally, no matter what, always, you're going to attract people that are where you are vibrationally. So what does that mean? That means that if you are in an angry, state, and you are really, angry, you could be bitter, you're just not feeling it, then you're going to attract people who are in that same type of vibration as you are. So that's going to happen. But then if you're happy, and joyful or whatever, at peace with the way things are, and you're just looking for more, you're expanding, and and you're working on it, and people do bounce back and forth, but it's always about how long are you going to stay down, and how long will you stay up. So it's about balance. Everyone's working on themselves in some way. But the thing about being on these different discs or wheels where people will line up with you where you are is that your family is related to you by blood. So you could be flying high off this wonderful energy and just feeling so good, but because your family already knows you, they can line up with you whenever they want to, because they can just pick the phone up and call you up. They can drop by your house. They may want to do some things together and hang out, and all the while you're flying high, but they're somewhere else, or you're somewhere else. And so the challenge becomes, it can be a challenge to try to find the equilibrium in that when people are not where you are, whether they're your family or not, but specifically with family. and those you really love dearly, and you have an unconditional love for them. Really, what you have to fall back on is that unconditional love, and ma'at, the balance, and giving them love and seeking none in return. And because what are some of the things that happens with family, that are really connected earthly to this planet, like they're really physically connected to this reality, and they're not floating in the etheric realm like you are. They're not, doing initiations. They're not doing, some of them are doing personal development and stuff like that, because everyone's at different stages. But where you are specifically, they may not be where you are. And so how do you deal with the fact that when they call you up, they're somewhere else and they refuse to hear you and your side? And sometimes you got some really, really interesting insight, and it sounds all abstract and all that. But if you call one of your friends that are on the path with you, that are where you are, they would get you. And in fact, some of them will get you telepathically, because that's where you all are. You're able to speak without speaking. And then some, you all can chat it up, but you all can feel each other, and it's just a constant affirming of where you are, which is wonderful that the universe is that way. That law of attraction thing is super wonderful. It is our gauge to know where we are. So the thing is, when this family does call, and people are going to call, you have to have a centering place, because that's where your self-awareness comes in. That's when you are able to actually stand outside of your person and say, wow, this person is, they're where they are, I'm where I am, and appreciate where they are, but do not take it personally, and do not take it as someone is, I don't know, they're just refusing to align with you, because that's most likely not what it is. Really what it is they don't have a clue of how to be where you are. Sometimes they don't have a clue. They want to line up with you. They want to communicate with you, and they're remembering what they used to share with you from in the past. But of course, with spiritual beings, or beings that are here to ascend upward, you're not going to stay the same. Every day is going to be a different day for you energetically. And people that are not doing that, that are not here this lifetime to do that, they're not going to understand it completely. Some will respect it, some won't respect it. But either way, the thing that has to happen is the being that does understand what is going on, which is more so the spiritual one, because that's what you're working on yourself. You're constantly doing that. So you have to really excuse those who don't understand where it is that you are and going in your life. So it's good. It's good because it lets you know that there's a great deal to still learn, even where you are. Wherever you are, there's a great deal to learn. And what happens is sometimes you may get a few sentences out to share with someone in your family about where you are, what's going on with you. And they might be looking at you like you're crazy. They might not. But sometimes the most beautiful spiritual talks will come from it about, about what's going on with you, and they'll open up and talk to you. So you just never know, but you don't owe anybody an explanation. And, but the main thing is finding that balance within you. And the way you do that is you got to feel good. Of course, you got to feel good. You got to feel good. You got to find a higher vibration of where you are if you're not feeling good. And then when people reach out to you, you're going to be able to fall back on the feeling good energy. You're going to be able to feel good, and you're going to be able to say, you're going to be flowing. And you can say, okay, this isn't personal, but they want to talk. They want to hear themselves talk. And, the things that they want to talk about, you may not be interested in. But a being that is knowing that they are connected to all. And even that situation of them calling with things that you're not interested in. That's something that you can grow spiritually from. You don't have to stay on the phone with them for hours or anything, but giving them some of your time just to listen, sometimes that's all a person needs. Now, and you're like, well, I want somebody to listen to me. And so you start talking about your thing and they cut you off and they start talking about their stuff. Well, and it's because when people do that, they really have a lack of self-awareness. And it happens because people were literally, their energy, they want to express, and they want to express what's going on in them. And some people don't think or reflect and say, wow, maybe the other person would want to do that too. Or they think that they have to be completely interested in what you're talking about, or they feel like they can't sit through it. They don't even have the patience to sit through what you're talking about, because there's going to be a level of learning that goes on with them listening to what you're talking about, and where you are. And some people don't want to do it. Some people don't want to be awakened in any way. They don't want the light to be shined on anything outside of where they are. And so nobody can fault anyone for anything of that nature. But you do have the choice whether to entertain the conversations or not. But if you do, and it's a good thing too, to do it, because you are going to expand by doing that. And you'll be so surprised at how much you grow just by not totally focusing on just what you like. But being of service to others is also listening. Being there to listen and being there a little bit for people when they need you. And you don't even have to look to do for the person to return the favor, because you're going to get so much from what you did for them. So I'm going to do another video for those who really, they don't understand the energy of the spiritual being who has come to the planet in order to sacrifice, raise their vibration, and assist with the energy and of great magnitude that is moving all the time and rising and uplifting others through working on themselves. Like, people don't really get that there is huge benefit from a spiritual being simply working on themselves, because of the one connection that is always going to benefit the whole by someone choosing to do that. So everything contributes, and everybody is where they're supposed to be right now. They are. And everybody has the choice to do something different. So if a person, going back to family members or whatever, if they are not on what you're on, it doesn't mean they're crazy, doesn't mean they've lost their mind, doesn't mean that they are better than you, completely balanced. It doesn't mean that what you're doing is whack. It doesn't mean any of that stuff. It doesn't mean that you're off track. What it does mean is that you have things that are assisting you in looking at yourself with just a stronger sense of awareness of where you are, and even more appreciation. Reach for feeling good, and do that, and everything is going to flow just fine. You'll find yourself having those people who are kind of dry about the way that you are in your life. You'll find them to be laughing and stuff, and you'll be laughing with them, and you'll find ways to mix it up with them, even if it's not a lot of ways, but it's going to be good. It's good for both sides. So don't run away from it. I know some of you all are like, you know what, I'm really over it. I'm done. And come out and mingle a bit, even if it's just in the house or whatever, because they need to see you in the brightest sense of what you are right now. They need to see that, just like we need to see the other side of things. Some people are totally relaxed in just watching television, and some people are just completely relaxed in what else laying in the park all day, or whatever it is, spending all week in church, or whatever it is people are doing. But that's their experience. And the main thing is that, is a person happy? So Are they happy? If they're happy, then good. That's the goal, is for people to enjoy their life. So be less, be less bitter about it. It takes work, I know, because I've had times when I have this seed of this new thing that I found out about me, and it's blossoming, it's growing, and then someone will call and I'm like, oh, cool, that means I can share. Let me talk a little bit about, not that I don't really do it, too often, but I'm like, okay, but you'll start talking about it because the person will ask you how you're doing. And when you go there, then they don't get what you're talking about. It doesn't mean anything personal. It's just that they have no understanding, or they're not really interested, and they can't really dialogue with you on it. Because if your family loves you, right, there's a natural love that just comes with being a family. It doesn't always look that way for some of us, because people need so much healing. And that's why you came. That's one of the reasons why you are here. Just your presence helps to bring healing to the planet. So all of you don't even have to be doing anything. Just your presence. Just you choosing to do something different than other people is bringing balance to the planet. So, be grateful and hug yourselves for that. And know it's going to be a brighter day. But yeah, I do understand that sometimes you feel alienated, you feel alone, but you're not alone. Because, I don't know if I say it in every video, but the ancestors, your guides, your angels, even, whoever you were in past lives, all that's up in here right now. You got that. So the only thing to really focus on is feeling good. And then that family, they're going to be healed by your work that you are doing on yourself. You don't have to go and do magic spells or some stuff on them and make them do Jedi mind tricks to make them do what you want them to do. And they don't have to do that to you either. But simply the vibration that you're emitting is going to attract more of the things that you love to be in your experience. So sometimes that'll include family, and sometimes it won't. Sometimes you all will have to reach out and do things that raise the vibration, and you all are able to do together, like watch a comedy or something. But do it, enjoy it, find ways to enjoy, because you never know when people may cross over. You never know when you're going to cross over. But it's good to be able to mix it up, and and just be grateful that you have the experience to be able to have that contrast. Life would be so freaking boring, if there was not contrast. What would happen if you got up every day and all you did, there's just, peace and harmony and joy, peace and harmony. I mean, I love that. I love that. That's my stuff. Bliss and all that. I love it. Floating in the clouds and laying on the blanket in the park and just feeling the love and I love all that. But there's gonna be, even for you who have done all that work that you've done on the inside, which is the most work. The work that's done on the inside, that's the work right there. That's some work. Because nobody can really understand and see what you're experiencing but you and your ancestors, your guides, or that's it. So, but at the same time, to have a life like that every day, but somebody doesn't call you up and ask you how was your day, or they don't come and unload all their stories of what's happened on their job on you. I mean, those things they build character, and they do make things interesting. It's like reading a book. If the book didn't have any interesting twists and stuff in it, it would be really boring, And of course, the more balanced you are about your life that you're living, it won't be such really deep twists and contrast. It'll be a little smooth ride. It will. But the contrast makes things interesting. So there's going to be a little bit of that in there. But, you got it. You got all this taken care of. It's all flowing and going. It's going to go well. So thank you for listening. And I'm going to put another video out for the family members so that they can understand how to speak to and communicate with and, mix it up with those who have come to do the spiritual work, the ones who have come to serve, and it's, yeah. So I'm gonna put that out, and that way they can get it. They'll be a little bit closer to getting it, and they won't take everything so personally that you do, and just they'll relax a little bit. So both sides can relax, and we can keep building and creating more that is bringing us higher. So I'll talk to you all soon. My name's Sarita Alita Daly, and thank you for listening to my spontaneous message right now. And love and light to you, and trust. I'm definitely experiencing all this great stuff right now, and I just came out of meditation mode, and I'm getting it. It's good. It's good. It's real good. So be blessed and take care. Peace.